You were legitimately that comedian 8 Mile moment.
A little.
Let's get up.
That is.
Let's get up and do this.
That's like a late night show story after you've blown up. Like
Yeah.
that's like
That
a
is,
really
exactly.
magical story.
I need to blow up now. That's just.
What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills.
Love and light. Welcome to Discipline Stoners Podcast. With your host, Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
And welcome back to another episode of Discipline Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today, yo, Win, finally, eh?
I'm so excited.
Okay, you can intro him, but I gotta say, this is what I say is the hardest working man in comedy in Toronto. This is a business partner of mine for Rhythm and Flow. This is one of the dopest comedians that I've gotten the pleasure to meet in this city. When you take it from there.
Multi-layered creative. We met in a monologue slam, I'm pretty sure, the two of us.
Years ago.
I think that's how we met. So just we've been around the block. We've really connected over the last couple years and worked together. And so please put your joints up.
For Brandon.
Zakkai.
What's up, bro?
Hey.
That was probably one of our better intros, to be totally honest.
We struggle with intros.
Oh, well, I mean, we know each other pretty well. So.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? Thanks for being here. Good to see you.
My pleasure.
We saw Sarah Silverman last night.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
It
saw
was
it
cool.
together, but independently. of one
Yeah.
another.
Separately.
I saw
but
other comedians there too.
I saw a bunch.
That's so nice.
I went with 3 other comedians.
How
Yeah.
dope is that?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that, seeing that, because it's just, I don't know, it feels like, oh, you're here because you like this so much and you want to watch it.
You're a craftsman. You're a craftsman. I really like that about comedians.
Yeah, we are trying to keep up with like what's new and what's going on in the craft.
How do you study stand-up?
Jeez.
Because that's great. Like straight up, like
Right off the top.
right off the top. Sorry, I mean we can
Tell us how to be good.
But no, straight up, like
When I find out, I'll tell you.
no, but like you are such a solid practitioner of the craft. And I was doing stand-up at 16. I dropped out of high school to do it. And it's funny that Winnie's a comedian. I was a comedian first, and that just there's a whole story there. But since Winnie has started again, it was your show at Bar Cathedral that showed me Bar Cathedral. I've talked about you a lot on the podcast.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like when I was just chilling with Winnie, I wouldn't have seen Bar Cathedral unless you had a show going there and invited her on. Like, I wouldn't have been there.
That's probably how...
I don't remember
start?
how our reconnection happened, because you had given us 2 free or discounted tickets to your Sunday night show when you first started it, your last Sunday of the week.
Oh,
Month, excuse me.
Yeah.
Every Sunday is the last Sunday of the week.
Yeah.
and the first.
And the first. But prior to that, we had run into each other somewhere.
We knew each other.
We already knew each other, and we always felt very friendly with one another. But like the reconnection, I can't quite remember how it happened.
Well, we got brought together for a dinner too, right?
Yeah, I think that probably
Put you back in my vortex.
Yeah.
that was years ago, though. That dinner.
Now.
Now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about reconnecting and
2 years ago?
getting Rhythm and Flow started.
Yeah. Well, that's me and Brandon were already on each other's minds. Like,
I think I
Distantly.
recall now that, oh God.
now that we've butchered it and talked about it for 5 minutes.
No. So I forgot. I saw you at Salto.
Oh, and you told Buddy about me, and then I did the freestyle.
Yes.
That's
Salto
right.
was my first performance back.
Yeah, so I saw you at Salto.
Shout out Salto. So
Because I
And
wanted
I brought
to see
14 people. Shout out
Dom.
me.
Well done.
Thank you. I think that's when you were like, oh, you can come to my show.
Winnie's a bringer.
I can exploit this.
It's over now. 1 year later, I don't have that.
It's over after 4 months. It's done.
Your friends stop coming.
Oh yeah, everyone's sick of you.
If you want to start being a comedian, and this is what I think,
don't invite anyone off the top. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. Don't bring people. Don't do it. Wait until you're
good.
Right? I was gonna say wait until you're a few months in, and then you actually start getting booked on shows, and then you bring all these people to shows, and people are gonna think it's gonna make a good impression.
Yeah.
Don't do it off the top, because by the time you're worth your time allotment, by the time you're worth your time, it's your bringability is done. Your social momentum is over.
Totally.
Yeah. So,
that's such great advice, actually.
Yeah.
For anyone looking.
So part of this show is like offering insight to those who'd like to pursue. And I think stand-up comedy is the top thing I hear, other than Beatmaker, that people are like, oh, I'd really like to try my crack at that. I'd really like to, I always, kind of write stand-up. They never do it. How long have you been doing it? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, because as a comedian, I think you hold so much value, honestly, just from your experience, just from that fucking elbow grease that you've been putting in for years. Like, how'd you start? How did this happen?
Okay, so I guess this is the origin story, as it's been affectionately dubbed, and it actually circles into the night we kind of linked up at Salto.
Okay.
So I got into stand-up by chance. It was my friend's birthday. It was around 2011, maybe 2012.
11.
Stand Up by Chance. That should be your Lifetime movie special.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just
so good.
Keep going.
Stand Up. I have a couple better ones.
Because her movie
Stand Up
was
out of
Christmas
spite. But so it's my friend Graham Kent's birthday, and I go there, and I go there with our mutual friends Constantine and Matt.
Oh, no way.
Who
brought us together
for the dinner.
I remember.
For them. I mean, you're the audience surrogate there. So I go, for the dinner. See, little peek behind the curtain.
Said previously mentioned dinner.
So.
All right.
So Matt and Constantine are making noises because we're just there to celebrate a birthday, but apparently it's a comedy show's going on. Matt and we kind of we're just loud and heckling, and it's pretty. We're being bad. We're being bad people. Don't be us. But we were kids. And there's this guy who walks into the show. And I just look at him and I go, that's the angriest man in the world. And he goes on stage and he is the angriest man in the world. It
happens.
So we'll put a pin into that. So we're just heckling, and then like at some point somebody yells, "Yeah, you think you're so funny? You think you could do this?" And then I go, "Yeah." I go on stage, I kind of riff a bit. There's like one woman in the audience. She's yelling back. She was a comic, and I say something like,
"Did he invite you on stage, or how did you get on stage?"
Just whoever was hosting at the time was like, "Oh, do you think you're so funny? Like, you think you could do this?"
Okay. Wow.
So I do get on stage.
Oh my god.
And I just kind of, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of riffing, and like some woman who was a comic shouts something at me, and I go, I don't forget in general, but it's like, were you always that dumb, or did the bleach in your hair seep into your brain or something like that? She like gets angry, whatever, and they have to call the whole thing. And we're like, okay, we're done. This is over. This is nonsense.
I love that.
Whoa.
I love that.
That woman gets in my face, and I'm just kind of like,
I've had a moment like this at a gym.
Just kind of just going, like, I don't know, and then whatever. The angriest man in the world comes to me afterwards, and he goes, "Listen, there are two types of people who heckle, assholes and people who think that they can do better. And you don't strike me as an asshole. Come back next week with 5 minutes."
Oh my god!
Shout out that guy.
And that was Dom Pare.
Oh.
And that was the guy who, the reason I was at Salto that night, because I knew he was going to be there, and I wanted to see him.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
What a beautiful story.
An absolutely beautiful story. Holy shit, dude. So like full circle. So you were that guy that everyone kind of dreams about being that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone wishes like, oh my God, like you've been at shows where like people are trying to be part of it, and then you do something or you ignore them and they stop. But like, you were legitimately that comedian 8 Mile moment.
A little.
Let's get up.
Let's
get up and do this.
That's like a late night show story after you've blown up. Like
Yeah.
that's like
That
a
is,
really
exactly.
magical story.
I need to blow up now. That's just. I have all.
So what were you?
I have all the prerequisites for a made-for-TV movie. I just need to blow up and be able to have that movie made.
So
Yeah.
what were you doing before that? Like, what was your intention in life? Because now you're Brandon Zakkai, this comedian guy. Like, you are. When people think about you and people know of you, they're like, fucking stand
I
up. Like,
agree.
that
I don't
comes first.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what comes first. I'm just to let you know. It's not marketer. It's not. I mean, I know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think at the time
You're a great marketer. but I'm saying, like,
I'm trying to hold back because there's such a positive atmosphere. I'm trying to hold back all the self-deprecating.
no, but
jabs
feel
are just
free.
like people are thinking I'm like nobody's thinking about me.
But
The people know. I'm like they don't know me. Like, that's the problem.
Is,
Ellevan.
is that the first thing that comes to mind when you hear a compliment?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
always, like someone compliments you and immediately you like myth bust it.
Yes.
Well
yes.
said.
Yeah, that was a good. That was good. Yes,
Myth
I
bust.
completely deflate any
Oh my
air.
God.
Why? You don't believe in yourself? Why are you doing all this if you don't believe in yourself?
I think when I was young, I found it humorous and charming.
I
And-
agree.
And now
It's cultural too.
It's yeah.
You downplay yourself and you're just like
it's very Canadian.
it's
It's
That's
very
like Canadian
Canadian.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh please.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
That's why we don't shine bright here in Canada.
Yeah.
We're all sort of
You got to go to the
just
States.
dimly lit.
Yep. Just kind of
And-
got to go to the States.
And like sometimes like you're in a mood where it's like, oh, I'm like big like I'm like big up, but like I don't know, for myself I'm playing up in Karen. It's like, yeah, man, 'cause I fucking right, you know, you're just being that like Fred Dursty, like, yo, bro, I'm just like in the zone, and just like, it really rubs Canadian people like the wrong way. Like I was just like hanging out with some other comics the other day, and they're just like, yeah, this usually works for me. It's like, oh yeah, I read this book on this stuff. Like, how do you do that? I'm just like, you just do it by instinct, bro. And they're just like. It is a Canadian thing where we kind of like, oh no, it's nothing, oh please, and then there's the Jewish thing where it's like, yes, maybe a little. Today I'm good, tomorrow I'm not, like
Nice.
it's
so passive.
just being aware of
Check 1, 2, 3.
everything comes and goes.
Talk?
Everything comes and goes.
Nice, thank you. Okay, just wanted to get that.
Or as Sarah
Okay,
Silverman would say, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what is it?
That's
Yeah.
so good. Everyone wanted that from her, I think.
Yeah. She's hot.
She is
Sarah
hot.
she
Silverman's
looks great.
hot.
She looks great.
Shout out
She
Sarah
looks great.
Silverman. Shout out Sarah Silverman.
She's watching and she'll appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Can you imagine?
Exactly.
That's
So the
fucking funny.
the like she got told that, and it was immediately like, oh, so I know I'm the worst. Like
Yeah.
that. It's the same.
Right.
We have
There
that
you go.
same exactly the
Yeah.
cultural similarity.
Do you sometimes think that it turns into like real destructive sensation inside your body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's
What do you do to mitigate that?
Good question. Do you?
no, honestly, probably not.
You
but
do good shit though. You must feel good when you're on stage making people laugh. Like that's the mitigation right there.
Probably.
Maybe.
I mean, it's
It all charges back up when you're like, oh, I'm here doing my
it's an
purpose."
escape. Yeah, it's definitely someplace where you can get instant gratification. I mean, most other arts take so much time and work, and if you're in a movie or if you're making a movie or if you're like
Musician, you have to
a
learn to
musician,
play, yeah.
even just learning to play is just like constructing a song. Even
Yeah.
if you're constructing a beat,
Yeah.
can take anywhere from like hours to days by the time it's like fully mixed and mastered and being able to appreciate it by people.
Yeah, weeks even.
Yeah. So
I don't know. My writing that's along the lines of like me writing one
Stand
bit.
up?
Yeah, hours.
that being said, so you wrote
Yeah,
the bit,
work
but
on
like
it.
on any given night, you can just go out and get that dopamine hit. Just
You could, yeah.
takes-
Unless you suck.
Yeah.
There's still enough open mics. You can I see comics who are working every day.
I know, dude. It's so impressive.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's so impressive. People like I'm trying. Like we're getting into mid-30s territory for me, or I'm in mid-30s territory, and I'm just like, fuck. I don't want to go out at 10 p.m.
Well,
tonight.
that's what I was gonna say. It requires so much hustle and commitment to be a comedian that I am so impressed every time like we go out and there's just consistent people out there. And you did that, man. You jumped in and got a bunch of fucking at
Groove the other night, the show started at 9:30. The open mic started at 11. It was fucking bumping by the time the open mic. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, this is awesome. Like, people are coming here Thursday night. Bringing people, again, not your best choice, I think, if you're bringing people to an open mic.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh, you're just giving away all your value. But it's really nice.
Yeah. It's really nice for the other comedians, I think.
It is.
But then, so the wisdom you just spoke, see, that may even go over some people's heads. The wisdom you just spoke of giving away your value to an open mic, you've grown, and that means, like, not charging a ticket price on your talent. And, like, just giving it to another show that's, like, unmonetizable or isn't in your complete control, because open mics are usually a shit show. So it's kind of a place to go practice. But then how do you get people, how do you get audiences for people to practice? It's a really weird conundrum that I just think what I've observed, why you resonate so much with me is because the way I see you working it, and if I can go to a bar and say your name to a comedian and they know you, that's the type of social equity I've always chased as anything. As a comedian, as a musician, I fell in love with that hard work, that elbow grease, that shit that sucks, that you have to, as when he was saying, go out at 10 o'clock, you're spending money to be somewhere, to do something you feel like you should be getting paid for. Like, this
in
is
LA,
insane.
You have to buy drinks.
Yeah, it's 2-drink minimum.
Or just give them free money.
Yeah, but like, I want to ask you, because when I think about people with the ability to hustle and put in that elbow grease, like, I would leave it with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone asked me to produce a show here and I wasn't here, I was like, no, but Brandon got a backbone.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Did you always have that skill? And then, so I'm assuming you came back that next week with 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then what took you from that moment of this kind of 8 Mile underground blow up of being that heckler that got on stage, that little good hood moment, I call it, to this, really, in Toronto, like, go to any open mic and say, hey, do you know Brandon Zakkai? Someone
don't do that. You're gonna hear so many.
There's that self-deprecating shit. I'm just saying you will. He's in the atmosphere.
You catch.
If you catch
weird
the wrong
people.
person,
Yeah.
or someone who thinks that they know
shit.
you
They'll
and
talk shit.
and they don't,
But
actually.
Everybody.
I'm just saying,
in any field.
I don't fucking talk shit anymore.
But these are professional shit talkers. That makes it the worst.
But I'm just saying, knowing. And do you think as a freestyle rapper, I don't have my?
No, it's that's what I said in any field.
Yeah, my people who will talk shit about me, I still look at them as fans. They're still fans. They still know who I am. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but besides all that,
please comment on the content. It helps the algorithm.
Oh, and even talk shit. Like, if I've managed to emotionally trigger you and I haven't seen you, especially anyone, if I haven't seen you for years and I'm still emotionally triggering you, thank you. Thank you. You're working for me.
This is going to emotionally trigger them. Just FYI.
You're working for me for free. Thank you. I just wanted to toss that out there. Anyway, I
mean, it's a good sidebar though, because like it is. No, you're right. It's good for us too. If we see something online that triggers us, it's like, and we haven't seen that person in years or talked to them or really don't feel like we have any type of
if I don't text you all the time,
relationship.
Yeah.
Then we can just look at that and be like, fuck, I'm spending my money time right now.
You could be hustling and you're talking shit about someone else. So anyway, that's how we feel about the talkers. But whether you want to admit it or not, Mr. Humble, I've tried this. I've actually done it. I've done it. I've already.
You've gone to random people.
I've tested your hood. Yeah, I've tested your hood card.
Big ass filter.
I love that filter. I was thinking about
nice?
it too. I'm sorry, I did not mean to like change the subject and do another sidebar, but that was
oh my god,
it's amazing.
That happens a lot on this show.
I love these
Squat-a-fum.
non-paper filters. I love these.
Isn't that nice?
Solid filters.
Yeah, so we have a silicone
gorgeous.
one here, but then this one was given to us by part of the community, Squad FM, Caroline.
Squat-a-fum.
I always look at it as like Squad FM, like a radio show.
I know, that's what it
Isn't it?
reminds me of too.
No, it's a Squat-a-fum. Montreal
Squat-a-fum.
folks are
Oh, jeez.
French. Anyway, shout out you, love you guys. But
Yeah, I love this too.
yeah, I love this too. But what was that like, and how long did that process come to become? I'll call it underground established, because I've so resonate with that.
I'll take that underground established without like
calling it down.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Without like
That's acceptable to you.
Yeah,
You can get on board with
I can.
that.
Yeah, my humbleness will accept that.
Nice.
Like yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Underground established.
Sure.
Today with our underground
It
established
sounds
comedian.
cool too, right?
It does.
Sounds like if you come to my shows, I'll sell you drugs too.
Well, we will give you drugs.
Yeah, that's true. Come to Rhythm and no.
Is it
Sorry about
answer-
this corner.
Oh, yeah, I've been
Things coming at you.
We need to figure out this corner still. And I just topic. What was the last topic we were just talking
something
about?
about how I became
Underground.
underground established.
Yeah. Tell us about that. Like, how has this process been? How long have you been in the game?
Well, that happened around 2011, 2012.
Oh shit!
that's
when
when I
that story
started.
happened. Sorry.
How long have you been taking it seriously?
Less time, obviously.
Yeah.
So
So I was taking it seriously from then till about 2015. Then I went away for a bit. But the entire time I would always say, like, I tried doing acting first and foremost. And then I think around 2017 came back hobby land till about 2019, pandemic. And then from around then, it's just kind of like, I was like, okay, so I'm going to kind of drop what I'm doing a little bit more outside and go harder at this, just to see where it would take me.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
and how did
The
that
pandemic,
feel?
just that happened for me too in the pandemic, where I was like, because I had started in 2017 and quit in 2018 because I was like getting physically sick, and I was like, maybe I'm just not ready for this right now. And then the pandemic, I was like, oh, I really want to like actively try and just do this and see like what happens. Even in terms of writing, like it's not, I don't really necessarily have a whole lot of goals right now around stand-up, but just like seeing how I can actually develop as a person, because you get intrigued about so much more now, I find. Anyways, that was another sidebar.
No.
I don't remember where I was supposed to kick it after that.
You were telling us that you took it seriously until
2019.
and then the pandy kind of got you to where
Yeah.
you are now, where you've set other things aside, and so you've been
Yeah.
spending the last couple years.
And what type of things did you step away from, and was that hard?
So I mean, I pursued acting a little bit less. I pursued, the typical day job career sort of thing. So I think for a while, I think you knew me as kind of like working in like the marketing and like doing like tech on.
Just knowing that you did that was also
Yeah.
impressive, though.
Well, I mean, it's very hard to like only do any art.
At first, only.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You can't like, as much as you like, they say like immerse yourself in it. It's just like, yeah, but also have a career on the side. And it's like, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So it is a conscious decision that you kind of sort of have to make once you've reached a level of familiarity and comfort with your craft or medium.
Yeah.
And just knowing how to book yourself and keeping enough shows going or enough opportunities going that you can sustain yourself as an adult.
Well, that's like the thing is that like, I guess kind of coming from that businessy, brandy background, and also film and acting, where like the one thing that they tell you all the time when you're starting out is kind of like, make your own opportunities, like make your own movies, make your own this. Like before, I guess I'm speaking like in the past, where it's like make your own short films. Now it's just like make your own content. But this is the same thing. It's just like do it for yourself. Just start doing it. Yeah. So the idea being is that like, well, if I'm supposed to do that in every other walk of life and every other craft and medium, I guess why is nobody doing it for them, like doing that for themselves in comedy?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, all right, so I'm just going to make my own opportunities, start hosting shows, start trying to make bigger shows, start trying to put yourself in a position where, you know, if people, you know, like if people want to work with you, you have enough space to work with them and stuff like that. So, and then using all the experience from the old life of like kind of branding and running that business sort of.
So you bring up a very cool thing there of being able to work with someone and having something on the go that you can offer.
Yeah.
That's huge. And you and I have something in common. Our side hustle job was marketing. Mm-hmm. And is holler at your boy for Disciplined Stoners custom content. Like straight up, like as artists, marketing is where art meets budget. And you just got to make sure that you're providing value or enough access to audience that you have something of value that can be, you know, justified by any company, or your contribution is valid, rather, like in any which way that, however that happens. Maybe you have a specialized skill or insight somehow. But you did a similar thing that I did, where you start the show. So I hosted an open mic at Kitsch. If you know me from Kitsch days, shout out. You've been around for a decade. And being able to give someone a slot to come work on their stuff is such a gift.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
It's a currency amongst artists, stage time. And it's funny whether there's an audience or not. But generally with like a lot of your shows, I have seen, and dude, you've done tiny basements. You know, you do those ones at Bar Cathedral, which I think is a beautiful venue. You're all over the place, but there's always butts in the seats.
Yeah, you bring people out.
I still think that that's a myth. I don't know. It's just, I really do, because I guess I do so much that for every win, there's like a bunch of losses, and it's not even like losses. They're not even losses, but it's like they're baseball numbers. They're not even basketball numbers. And what I mean by that is like in basketball, like
hundreds.
Good players hit interior players hit 60% of their shots, and good players hit 50. And it's like, even that, no, it's more baseball, where it's like good players can sometimes hit a third or a fourth.
Yeah.
And, you know, the more you do, it's without, you know, adding additional people with you.
I feel that.
You need that's why our show is successful consistently, because we work together and like we kind of are able to back each other up. If you're only doing it yourself, there's only so much energy that you can output.
It's so hard.
So some shows win and some shows lose, and it's not even a loss, because at the end of the day, like you said, stage time is the currency. So that's what most people are. So we take it. So I don't look at it anymore as loss. There are butts in seats, but they're not always thousands of cheeks, you know, like I don't know what to say. Like,
I feel you. And like we're in this interesting area where we can inspire each other and offer insights on different angles. Like, so I just want to, it's still in the same category, but I want to shift more to like the business mindset. You and I make such good partners. Me and Winnie were talking about this too, or the three of us kind of been producing the show, but like you and I really like spearhead and like work out all the grimy ass details. And your talents are where my weaknesses are, and I think a lot of my weaknesses are, you know, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
I knew, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I fucked up that.
You
that
guys
analogy,
have strengths in different areas and categories.
Completely different.
That shit is awesome, and we both come from a marketing background, so we know how to communicate.
Yes.
And so I just want to speak to other partnerships that just go so wrong, and it's because I'm often too similar. Whereas like we have the same goals, but we're very different.
We're so different. So different.
But it's like same with me and Winnie. Actually, it's part of the value of this podcast. They don't want to just hear me rip and be a nutcase. They want to see what it would have to be if I had to answer to someone that I love, who has a slightly narrower perception of reality. Like that's the truth. You're more decided. She's more mentally masculine than me. She like makes like this reality and that's what it is, and I'm like, what reality? Like we could have 5,000 people at our next show. I don't live in. I don't accept the limitation of the container. Like, I'm not dreaming about this glass of water. I'm thinking about the tap.
It's a lot to handle sometimes as someone who is more rooted, you're right, in that reality where you're like, realism sometimes plays a good part in preparation.
That's why I'm so grateful for the partnerships like you guys who are a little more tuned into the third dimension reality that's already happening. Yeah. But we're attracted to your magic. Like, there's something about him where you're like, fuck, I don't know. Like, maybe if he says we could have 5,000 people at our next show, maybe we can. And if if that means you get an extra 100 people at your show, just by raising the bar,
I mean, that's probably worth it.
But it's been really good, man, to work with you. I just want to give you that, give you those flowers and say you're such a good. I don't know, it's not even event organizer, but you're tuned into the audience and how this is going to affect the span of time in history. Like, at least that's how I feel when we're doing it. Like,
and I want to compliment you, too.
Please do, man. Yeah, we're trapping you and giving you flowers.
Yeah, every time I've seen you on a business call, or even when it comes to the relationship between the two of you, like, you have never backed down from a conversation. And that's, like, pretty, like, that brain, I'm like, it's I know beautiful. 10 conversations I backed down from yesterday. Like, and so like it's impressive because I know how that I feel like I know how that must feel inside you, where you're like, fuck, I have to have this conversation now. And you're like, I guess I'm going to do it because that's what it takes. And that's like your maturity that takes a lot of lips.
Oh, geez, yes, thank you. So
we've even made it through some awkward combos ourselves. Yeah. Like your maturity level in communication.
It's the nicest compliment I've ever had. It's like I feel seen.
I do feel like I see you. Like, even like the posts that you make, I'm like, oh my God, this took at least half of his day.
What's happening?
At least half of the work day.
Yeah.
Like, at least minimum. You know, it could have taken up to 6 hours, you know, to make a post that people scroll by in seconds. Mm-hmm. Like, that dedication and that willingness, it's a type of vulnerability that I respect, because you're banking on this working.
I literally, I put it all on black.
I love that.
My song just started playing affirmations. Sorry. Wow.
Awesome.
No, okay, but one more, okay? One
more, and then we're done.
So I'm gonna explain myself first, and then I'm gonna talk about why I love this skill. As a music artist who has been leveraged off of so hard by venues my whole career, like for years, like for a decade, I worked for free for bars. Like that's just how you get in the elbow grease. I built fans through that, and I just built a nice community through that, and and I built myself through that. So I used it as that. So I wasn't taken advantage of. I showed up. So it's not taken if you're giving it, right? So I was giving it. But when I talk to venues now, and we are good at ticket sales, and we do have people that want to come see us, I very seldom ask what the fuck the venue wants. I'm like, fuck you. Like, I'm bringing down people, but and that leaves a lot in the gray. Like, what do you guys need to be happy? Or even like, what's your venue fee? Fuck you, your fucking venue fee. You get me at your fucking place. You're welcome. Like, that's where I'm living. Like, that's just my confidence. It's insane. I know it's insane. So you guys can enjoy that, and you guys have the thick skin to appreciate and accept that. But I'm living there on purpose, just because I don't see another way for this to go where I see it going. So
that's fair.
I gotta feel like that, and even if my confidence is unjustified, that's just how I feel. But when we do things and we go for venue meetings, we're going for another one today, you always, as she was saying, and this is a branch off of yours, you always show up for those uncomfortable questions, even if they're not favorable for you. What gave you that fearlessness?
Yeah.
Because I even pussy out by just omitting it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, fuck you. And if they say anything to me, I'm like, oh yeah? And then I'll burn that relationship. Like, where Disciplined Stoners has I'm close. I left the account alone. I said, Winnie, this is yours now, because I'm going to fuck up this relationship. Why do you have that fearlessness? Is it foresight? What's going on there?
In a weird way, the answer is survival. It's always survival, right? You want to just kind of like, you want to understand what's going on. You want to know you want to know where you stand. You want to know like what the rules of the game are. You want to know what the rules of the game are, and then just play the game by the rules. Like doesn't matter what changes. Just tell me what it is. Just let me continue to live another day. Let me continue to live and survive and earn. I mean, I don't know where that mindset kind of comes from. But you just like,
this might be in your DNA.
My mom's a refugee, Jews kicked out of everywhere, it's just like let's find out what the rules of the game are and we'll fucking play it, and that's what it is,
And then you play it really well.
Just forward. Just tell me what it is. Because there's no point not bringing it up and pussyfooting around, then you bringing this up to me later.
Yeah.
All right? Like, you have to have this conversation, and I feel like if you're dealing in the world of conversations, that conversation has to leave an impression, because you can't forget the conversation. So, like...
Oh, I like that perspective.
So like, say some memorable shit and repeat it and get them to... So you can... Because that's what can you do? Unless you're putting it in writing, in which case, get a lawyer.
For sure.
But like where we are in the underground, to establish yourself in the underground without the paper trail, it's like you're dealing on conversations and like not even handshake, just word agreements. It's just kind of like, is this what it is? This is what it is, and figure that out. Get it out up there right away. So. It's just about finding out what needs to be done. Yeah. So when we go to a venue,
creating clarity.
Yeah, I do not like uncertainty.
Yeah, you
fucking hate uncertainty.
You bless the dark spaces with light.
God bless, dude. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And may we shout out your wonderful... I think when you said survival, I'm not gonna lie, bless your Jewish heritage, because for sure, man, that gangster. It's because it's one thing I'm still working on. Clarify everything, A to Z.
Yeah.
No assumptions. Why live in fear or this uncertainty?
Just
sick.
There's always a situation. If you have a goal, just like, that's the oldest affirm. Like, I don't know. It's the one that's like, if you know what you want, find what it costs and pay the price. So if you know what you want, if you want to be... This stands for material things.
Yeah.
And it stands for like actual goals. So if you want a 6-pack abs, you find out what it takes to get them. It takes eating right. It takes like routine. It takes going to the gym. It takes working hard. It takes sacrifice. It takes passing on things. So if that's what it takes, you know what it takes. You can have them. Just pay that price. It's simple. There's nothing else to it.
Baby, this is the Insta clip for sure.
This is the snippet.
If you want to be an actor, a musician, or if you want to be a Wall Street bro, if you want to be a baseball player, all these things, you find out what it costs. It takes hours. It takes dedication. It takes working on it. It takes practicing. It takes going out at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It takes all these things, and those things have prices. Yeah. Going out at 10 o'clock at night means being tired in the morning.
The next day.
Going out to the same place every night means losing all your losing all your friends. It is what it is, and it's not just about. That's not a comment on comedy. It's a comment on getting to the top of anything.
Yeah,
dude, it is lonely. Like you have. So if you find out what it costs, and you pay the price, and that is both for the benefit.
God I have bless. Such like a crazy
that was so good. That's so good.
Paradox feeling in my head, because I like completely agree with you so much, and then another part of me is like, there's got to be another way. Like, does it have to be so hard? But the way that you put it is like, no, it doesn't have to be so hard. That's just what it costs.
Yeah. So may I chime in on that?
Yeah.
When I work out, I'm not lifting weights. I'm in harmony with the idea of what it takes to be as fit as I want.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like it's not hard work, but working hard at it can feel not like hard work, but like being there and just being at perfect form all the way to the ground. I'm working hard, but in my head I'm listening to DMX.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I look at myself in the mirror like, I am that guy. I'm that guy. So I dig what you're saying.
I dig
gotta
it
show
too.
up.
I think I'm
but it doesn't
realizing,
have to hurt. It doesn't have to hurt.
Well,
I'm on both sides. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, it can manifest easily.
How you feel about the work is completely separate from the idea that there's a price. Like you have to work. How you feel about it.
Yeah.
It's separate. You could enjoy it. You could enjoy the ride. That's all perspective, you know. Like it's like waiting in line. It's like, oh, I need to get to the front of the line, or it's just kind of like, ooh, good. I guess I'm just gonna stand here for a minute and like, not do anything. It's gonna be nice, you know. It's whatever it is. It's all
do calf raises.
Yeah.
There's anything you can. It's all. I mean, again, I'm not making any of this up, by the way. This has existed for
none of us are.
Wisdom
for sure.
that's existed
Nothing
for centuries.
is original.
No, we don't think anything's
so
original.
it's everything's a matter of how you choose to perceive it and go through it.
I love that.
I just choose to be a negative prick about it.
I think that like
Choose to
kind
dredge
of
your way through it.
I think kind of real time I was like, I'm not sure if I've ever kind of made the agreement to do what it costs, to pay the cost.
You
personally,
I think you're a perfect example of somebody who does. I see you paying the price all the time.
Yes.
And like I've never once, and like you are so blessed that you're not even aware that you're doing it, because you have that mindset that Ellevan is talking about, of just kind of like, oh, I'm not paying the price right now. I'm just cleaning my yoga studio. Oh, I'm not paying the price right now. I'm just going out at 10 o'clock and doing comedy in front of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've never once
that.
paid. You never once paid
that.
attention. You're just enjoying it. So like God bless you.
Oh, man,
and the ray of
you.
sunshine which follows, you know. So
I love that.
that's the way.
That's such a kind reflection.
I mean, and that's coming from you, Brandon. That's beautiful. That's great to hear from Winnie. Like, that's because that's true. You see it. She'd have to be doing it for you to see it. That's true. I think that, yeah, you're a lot more earnest than I am. Like, you know, like I'll skip over the details to hope to benefit.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, you're halfway between Brandon and I. You're like, should we leave it?
I would definitely.
I want it
a
in
good
writing.
middle. Yeah.
I think I'm more like I would prefer to just be like, tell me everything I can't do, and I promise I'll work with it.
We would like
Yeah.
we're very much in that same mindset and space, and it's.
I'm like, just thank you so much for having me. I will work within it.
And I'm like, I'll let you know what your rules are tomorrow. And that's why I love my partners.
We're both very passionate in different ways. Like we do. There's something you were, I think, getting towards earlier, because we get all over the place in this conversation.
So good.
That's how it
But
happens,
because we're
usually.
so different, so different. But we're both committed to communication.
Totally.
We both, because we know we're different, we put in that extra effort to explain what we mean and where we're coming from.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
And to not like react, but to be open to being incorrect or just whatever.
Absolutely.
Like,
there's no ego in admitting, like, I was wrong about this one, or like, oh no, you were right about this one. We've never each tried to save face. And,
Yeah.
But the
No
beautiful thing
interest.
about working with someone who's incredibly different from you, but being aware of it and being like, okay, this person said this. What does it mean? Where we're like, and knowing, oh, I said this, but he speaks in this frequency. I speak in this. How do I explain this? What I meant, more his frequency. We take that extra time.
yes, it's worth it.
Imagine we work together. We're both so laser focused in on something. We may not put that extra time to
Because we're
get
not.
out.
We think we're alike.
We think
so
we're
if,
alike.
if we come up on a road bump,
We're
it's like,
yeah.
no, well, you're so much like me. How can you be different
Exactly.
than me on this one
It's
thing?
so hard to figure out our differences
Yeah.
in order to try and mend the gap.
That's true.
mend that bridge.
Yeah, you can. It's more. You can be more mindful of
so mindful
different.
of how to communicate and how different
Yeah.
you are and what it takes to communicate.
So that's it. That right there is another snippet, honestly, because we found that the huge benefit of this podcast is how different we are and how we hold space. And I brought that up the other day. It's like even like I try to stay away from politics and bullshit now, but like, you know, in times where I've spoken out on my social media and got that extra support because someone just agrees with you and they think that you're the same, I ran away from that so fucking hard because don't champion me for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
I know I'm speaking out. I mean, I know I'm being immature right now. I know I'm being petty, but I'm just going to do that because fucking my life, like I'm an adult, fine. All right, I'm going to go wild for a minute and then I'm going to reel it in. But in those moments where someone tries to like, we're the same.
Yeah.
Like, we're the same. It's like, trust me, we're not. Trust me, we're not. Like, trust me, we're very, very different.
Yeah.
And or else you'd have no value to me. I already know me. I already have me. I'm taking up that space. And I think that's so important considering the past couple of years as well of like just like people beefing and friendships ending because of disagreements. Like it's okay if you put a little dash of maturity and communication on it to agree, to disagree, right? To disagree.
And it's also okay to be like feel hurt by a friend and like just take a minute to like mend that hurt and know that you're the one that's being hurt. Like it's not them hurting you, you're the one that's being hurt. So you can like take some time and go deal with that and then like find your forgiveness. I think a lot of us are just like, you know, I'll forget, but I can't forgive, you know, or whatever.
Or when people say the word betrayed. This is insane. I hear this from a lot of people. The word betrayed is like...
It's a big word. Language is very...
You are taking the victim knife and stabbing yourself in your heart. And there's nothing that this other person being accused by you of betraying you, like that word, like that's become such a like, oh, I'm not friends with that person anymore. They betrayed me. Like I hear that a lot from like grown adults, like many of them, men, women.
I was just thinking, I'm like,
everybody's
everybody's listening to this and they're like thinking, it's like, how does he know though? How does he know this is about me? Like, you know, like Sarah Silver was saying, it's like,
yeah, like,
that was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, we're not going to give away her material, but like,
oh shit,
if there was one,
can we bleep all
no,
of
no,
that?
No. It's
on the show?
No,
Yeah.
we're not.
This isn't live. Yeah.
No,
so
it's
can we
not
bleep?
live.
No, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's necessary to bleep it.
Now I'm like feel like I'm gonna get kicked out of the Comedians Guild if there were one.
Honestly, yeah, we'll take a look at it.
We'll see.
Please.
We'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah,
we'll take a look because I agree. Because it's
that's
for
why
her
I
special.
said it.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I said it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I've been I've been aware since the top of the show that you guys will
We've
see.
just had this moment.
Yeah. So I've been here and I've been monitoring how far the jokes go.
We need,
If it's needed, I'll cut punchlines.
or just do a little like cute. We like yeah.
Work it out.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'm gonna leave this part in though,
Yeah.
because this is one of those great conversations
Yes.
that could easily piss me off. But I'm like, no, this is great because they're gonna push me to make a better product. Like,
And it probably makes us look like mindful comedians.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
Everyone's winning. You're not missing out. Go watch Sarah Silverman's special when it
Yes.
comes out.
It's honestly so good. And Sarah, we look forward to having you on the show.
Yeah, because she smokes.
Yeah, dude.
She loves cannabis. She's perfect for this show.
Yeah.
I don't even have a job. I feel like I could be fired at any moment now.
That's rough.
No, we love it. Okay, bro, your dad is so cool.
Oh, jeez.
Your dad, the legend, got to come up.
Sure, yes.
He
Yes,
dresses
I love
so
him
cool.
so much.
He's
Yeah.
such a sweetheart. You have such a cool relationship. I have a cool relationship with my dad too, which my dad loves
Yeah.
you and your hustle, by the way, as well.
I love your dad too.
Yeah, sweetheart.
He's so cool as
Does your
well.
dad smoke weed?
No,
No, not so.
He looks like someone who does.
that's the charm. But like, what does that even mean anymore? Everybody smokes weed these days.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's actually so true. I just mean he's got
He has
a leather jacket
Yeah.
and long hair.
Rings, fedora.
And like his
so cool
his face looks like he's gone through a lot of experiences, honestly.
in life.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How
And his vibe is chill.
Yeah.
That's the most. Is
He
that
is.
like that when I
His
say
vibe
you're
is
like,
very
oh,
chill.
like when someone's like chill and cool, that's what I think. I'm like that's what I think is a stoner now.
Yeah. He also seems like he could be like the head of a biker gang.
Yeah.
Like the chill OG Poppy in the back
That's
of a bar.
true. Yeah.
These are all, I mean, I'm very apt. Yeah, very good. Very perceptive there. It's a cool image. No one's gonna argue that.
Does he
like
is
that?
he cool with weed?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so. I don't think he understands the depths of weed culture and how it's changed. I mean, he's not plugged into it, obviously.
When was your first weed experience?
What's been your relationship?
Intimate.
It is, isn't it?
With weed?
I agree.
No, I mean we know each other. Weed and I know each other quite well. We hang out daily. What do you want me to say, man?
No, so sorry. We always get into our guests, like we talk about like what was your first experience with cannabis, because we introduce, I think, a lot of people to trying cannabis. At least a lot of people have written and said, since you've had so many, sharp folks on, I figured I'd give it a go. It won't make you stupid, like my 8th grade teacher told me. And I think the story that everyone tells when they get into weed is maybe they first accidentally abuse it. Or kind of like don't tune in, because we release this little slideshow. We'll maybe put the graphic up here of like what is a disciplined stoner, and it's the mindful aspect or the preparation, the tools, or maybe weed brings you there, because Winnie had this experience in the beginning where she made a deal with herself, like if you're going to smoke weed, you got to kind of uphold your promises to yourself in this capacity.
Yeah, I had to have that conversation.
So did you, like, in order, like I guess the trigger word here would be, when did you establish a healthy relationship with cannabis, or has it always been that?
It's a great, I mean, that is why I do love the disciplined stoners.
Thanks.
Ethos.
Thanks, bro.
mindset. Yeah, because it is disciplined, because it is very easy to, excuse me, hopefully didn't pick up on that.
If it did, we're going to make it nice and loud.
Yeah, please
I'm gonna
do.
put it up.
Yeah, please. As much post as you can do on these shows. But no, absolutely. When I started, I guess I started a little bit after high school.
Okay.
Nice.
Because for some reason that felt like, oh, okay, now I'm done developing. That was, like,
I hear you.
yeah, that's like the mindset you go into it with, having not done it. So, and then it became a bit too, is habitual the right word? It just became too
Routine, maybe.
Yeah, it got like, the way I look at it now is that for better or for worse, like, people are going to do what they're going to do. So like, you just kind of hope that like whatever they do, it doesn't get in the way of their family,
well-being,
work, self-care, and social life.
General well-being.
Yeah. So, and that goes not just for that. That's what I tell new comics. I tell new comics, like, if this gets in the way of, your family, your work, your social life, or your like general like sleep and general well-being, then
About weed or about stand-up?
interchangeable.
Right, like any drug, any sort of thing. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Any addiction.
But
And
it
you
also,
hope
it
that
also has a
doesn't get in the way.
cost.
Hey.
That's where it gets tricky, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, that's where I feel like it's tricky for me.
I see that because you are also committed to like self-care and
So much.
so listen, without going on without comparing ourselves to like the 1%, the top percentile of people in our fields, or shared and respected, because like we both do acting, we both do comedy. We didn't pay the ultimate price.
Yeah.
Not yet. You're on the way.
No, because there are greater prices to pay. There are prices that are like,
Ooh.
there are prices that are beyond what some people, most people, 99.999% of people are willing and or capable of paying. And some people choose their mental health and well-being, and some people choose their happiness over some sort of financial or status related achievement. So it's just kind of like the truth is, if the question is, are we paying the price to become the movie star, world famous touring Eddie Murphy, whoever comedian or actor, we didn't.
Not if you're still going for dinner with friends casually. Not if you're not on it.
Not if you're not doing every
single thing throughout your day, waking up early, getting in touch with managers, agents, like really taking it seriously. You're right. I didn't realize that.
Without going too dark, and edit this out if you need to.
No, go for it. I'll never edit.
Yeah, we won't ever.
The whole Me Too thing is a list of receipts of the prices people paid to get what they felt that they wanted or needed
from gatekeepers that exploited.
So there are prices that most people aren't willing to pay because that price is their happiness. That price is their well-being
and their mental health.
Is their mental health. Is their lives.
Fuck.
So you choose what you're capable of. So I've always been like, I just want to do what I want to do, that art form, that creative output.
Yeah.
The level doesn't matter as much as the fact that I'm doing it. That's what makes me happy. I think you're the same way.
I am. And I didn't know that until recently, but yeah, I am. I would rather be doing it sort of in any capacity than
happy and healthy.
And happy and healthy, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that comes with age too, I think.
I'm not sucking Harvey Weinstein's dick.
I'm also seeing like hot 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, like the woman her opener, she was 61.
Dude, I am seeing banging 70-year-olds. Like if people keep themselves up well.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, that's cool.
And if you have
like
money,
it's so cool that we can do this for a really long time if we maintain.
There are tons
our
of
health.
options of being able to do what you want to do. There are tons of levels. There's not just like.
Yeah.
There are more than 2 or 3 creative mediums.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Well said,
so let's broaden our perspective on what success looks like. I think we're doing that. I think we're slowly because it just used to be like, oh, like if you have all of the money, then you can basically buy your well-being. But we've seen so many times that that's not the case.
And there's also the aspect to the perception, as you previously mentioned. So success is almost like these little games that you play with yourself that are like markers and ideas of perceived having of made it or success, which is a worthy ideal pursuit.
Oh yeah, I'm watching the time. Yeah, we're gonna get off in about 10 minutes.
It's 2:14.
I do want to do speed round with Brandon because I think that would be fun.
Good, do it. Yeah, fuck that thought I had. Continue.
Sorry.
Speed round.
I'm sorry.
Well, you do speed round.
No, you do.
It's your thing. It's on your phone.
Let's all do speed round.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did not mean to derail you.
He's fine.
Fuck you.
Are you okay?
Okay.
Is this speed round?
I think so.
Oh no.
You ready? Say
Never.
the fastest thing say the first thing that comes to your head,
Okay.
the fastest, when I ask these questions about your favorites. Are you ready for speed round, Brandon Zakkai?
Yeah.
And speed round music comes on now.
David Cross. He's really good in small roles. I think he knocks it out. Bit players. I love people who sold a great line. I
agree.
I don't like these blank slate stars who are just kind of like.
Yeah. They paid the price though. Oh, shout out me too. Okay.
You know what? Nicolas Cage is fun.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Favorite video game console.
Oh, man, I never loved anything as much as I loved my Game Boy growing up. So.
Oh, same. Donkey
Yeah.
Kong, Pokemon.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
and then like the Advance SP is like the coolest version of Game Boy anything. So, there you go.
Favorite taste.
Ice cream. Cold, creamy.
Cold cream.
Yeah.
Favorite place you've ever created.
Rhythm and Flow 3.
Yeah. I'm out. Okay, very good.
Good, because that's a great way to bring this all home.
Guys, Rhythm and Flow 3 happening April 15th. I'm headlining this. So I'm going the latest slot, so that's really exciting. Brandon and Winnie are on the show as always. We're doing it at Bar Cathedral. Which they're awesome friend, man, and shout out Henry too.
Yeah,
like just so good, like great people who help us run the show there. Super cool spot on the Esplanade, great sound. And I booked Ben Foran, who's a great guitarist.
Everyone's in for a fucking treat with this dude.
Even if it's just Fat Sound and Ben, like this is.
That's kind of all I want it to be.
kind of.
I'm gonna try and convince you of that.
To be honest, the bass distracted me last time a bit. Like as far as my because this is a fun insight actually to the show. I do an improvised live band show, and why that's different from just me rapping over random instrumental beats is you can feel the band move together. So there's a predetermined kind of agreement structure of a song. It's usually a 4-bar intro, and then we can move into whether it's a chorus. But since I'm improvising, it's hard for me to know the chorus right off the top. I usually let the improvisation of the verse land on a statement, or I tell that story to bring it back to the audience suggestion. But as we are determining these sections, approximately every 4 or 8 bars, where it's a moving organism. So when it's just the melody of the guitar and the drums, and then I'm filling up the rest of the space. Yeah,
exactly.
And when the bass is trying to anticipate what the guitar is doing, and the guitar may not finish its little thing, or me and the guitar, the lead guitar, electric guitar, maybe going on a riff. There's just different components to know, and what the drummer is doing, where his fills are, and stuff like that. So it's like, damn, this I wanted to grow the band outwards, but for this brand of, which by the way, it's my favorite project I got going on right now. Like we have this quarterly show that I think I spend so much time in rap, in R&B, trying to take these events so seriously because I had to be sexy or gangsta, you know? Not that I'm not gonna rock a jersey on Rhythm and Flow 3, but like I'm still a rapper. But the energy of this show, everyone just comes to really have a good time. Like they're there to laugh. Like the energy of the night doesn't scare me. I still do shit that scares me. You think when I do like, you know, some club in Miami, like there's not a tinge of like,
the energy of this night scares me.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
why?
I get nervous for these shows because like
I love this show.
I love this show, but like I'm bringing my A game, you know. Like I want to be good. Like it's one of those.
Oh, well, I love that, of course.
So,
it makes me nervous. Like it gives me butterflies.
Yeah.
Like I have to do well.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But like no, the energy of the night actually attracts me to it. It's a room of people that I want to be in the room with those people.
It needs to be lit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Lit. Well, that light's going to be
Brandon,
lit, so get your tickets.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to leave the people with?
Yeah, man.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll be back, man. You know where to find me, man. Yeah. Come to shows. Come to Dr. B and the People.
Yeah. I want to be your receptionist.
Yeah.
We will book this. We will book that the second we get off.
Yeah.
Camera.
Brandon does a lot of really
these
cool
ideas.
conceptual shows. And yeah, man, I could just sit here and commend you all day, but basically, exactly. Go follow him. Go check out the journey. We'll put his @ in the description. But
we could obviously talk for like probably another hour if we're being realistic, but these guys got to get to a venue meeting, so we are calling it a day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Rhythm and Flow tickets in the link below. Check it out. Come see us. It's going to be a great show. And you're supporting a lot of awesome talent. And I know somewhere in your heart, you're like, hey, I really feel like I've just been feeling like I wanted to support some talent. Well, here's your opportunity. Click the link below. Also, subscribe to this channel and
Patreon.
Follow us on Spotify because that helps the algorithm or some shit.
Yeah, please follow us.
And we're on Patreon as well, so you can support us there. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills. Well, it's helped me feel okay about my shitty social skills. It doesn't make my social skills better, but it sure does make sitting in that awkward moment in a social interaction a lot more bearable. You know, that moment where no one in the group has anything left to say, and you desperately want to yell at all of them, just say something. Being high makes that hilarious and not torture.
Yo, it's Ellevan from Anger Town. This plant just helped me chill out. Found focus, found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective, more progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. And whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And that's Ralph.
You don't want a good girl till you need one. You don't want a bad girl till you see one. Looking at the stars like I'm gonna be one. If you know who I am, it's already begun. Now I'm looking at this girl like we should be one. Maybe add one more and have a threesome. She be looking at the stars like she could be with one. And if you're moving to it, then it's already begun. Gun.
I see what you're about. You play the short game. You don't know no one out here, but I'll make you glad you came. I see what you're about. You play the short game. You don't know no one out here, but I'll make you glad you came.
He's performed around the world. Woo! To audiences, big, small, corporate, communist, doesn't matter. He's the proud holder of a record of 365 songs with 365 music videos in 365 days. He's one half of the Disciplined Stoners podcast, an accomplished actor, and one of the best live acts in Toronto. Guys, make some noise and give it up for Ellevan!
When I say rhythm, y'all say flow. Rhythm? Flow! Rhythm? If you're smiling, I see you're lying. Fucking own, bro. Get through the nose. On the exhale, nice own.
One day we're gonna do a collage of all the times like a brilliant person just said like it's medicine.
Cannabis is a gift from Mother Earth.
Cannabis helped to heal me. Those natural medicines that we use to help to heal us. And of course they have this euphoric effect, or can.
It's an alternate natural way of healing. And I just think it's so beneficial, and there's so many good properties to weed.
I mean, that's the only difference in my life is I've added cannabis. The amount I've changed and the way our family has evolved and our relationships with my adult sons and everything, like just all through cannabis it's been amazing.
It's part of my life. Like you said, you really can't separate me and the cannabis plant. I use it medically.
Yes.
I have fibromyalgia, diagnosed with fibro very, very young, and I use cannabis to treat my fibro very effectively.
It was through an event that caused her major anxiety that I got her to take a few puffs.
Yeah.
And it helped.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, from being up here to being able to cope.
You know, we've got naturopathic medicine and natural health products that rely on hundreds of years of traditional use.
Yes.
You know, both cannabis and mushroom technically fall under.
Yes.
If you can keep it at that sweet spot and it's in a healthy way, I feel like that's
it's medicine.
Yeah, I think
it's medicine.
You have to like check in with your life and be like,
medicinal.
It felt like it complemented my personality.
Yeah.
Almost.
Good answer.
It's okay to use cannabis as their medicine. They no longer deserve to be in classrooms and hear that they're using drugs and they're bad, when this is medicine that is saving their lives.
Yes.
I mean, I would never put anything on the market that I wouldn't give to my mom or my grandfather.
Those strains are fantastic for pain management, nausea. This helps with pain management.
And I feel fantastic. Like I feel great. Do I attribute it to cannabis and cannabis oil? Absolutely I do.
Relationship to cannabis right now is beautiful, growing, most probably everlasting.
I think this is medicine.
Dude, 120%.
I've got ADD, and I'd use cannabis to help kind of focus me in and kind of turn things off. Like, it very much is medicine.
It was medicinal for me. It was like taking a medicine because that's how it worked.
The first class plane rides, now you've seen my life.
I got double decker flows on the road, what you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around them, only